Another episode of Our Cottage Renovation. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been here through vacations and holidays and just really nothing going on. There really hasn't been any work going on at the cottage. But behind the scenes we've been working. The big news is we have a plumber, and the plumber is starting in a couple of days. So hopefully by the next episode we'll have some rough plumbing done. But my task today is I need to build well, I'm calling it an E-wall, even though it's going to be a little bit higher than an E-wall. So it's going to be over here. This is the bathroom, if you remember. And the wall will come here, and the main purpose of the wall is to hold the plumbing for the bathroom and part of the kitchen. So if you remember from previous episode, in that corner will be the washer and dryer. One unit, washer and dryer will go in there. So the plumber needed a wall to put the box that the drain and the water hookups go into, so I have to build that wall. So that's going to be my task today, is to do that, and you're going to get to see it, and hopefully I don't mess it up. So I'm getting things set up, and we're going to get started on that right away. So I have my handy chop saw, some new lumber, and we're going to start by cutting. We're going to cut everything and lay it out, assemble it, and stand the wall up. I think that's going to be the easiest task. But I got this great chop saw that I borrowed. Gives me some good range of motion, better than a skill saw, I think, or whatever you want to call those other saws. But so bottom plate, top plate, studs 16 on center, and the right height. Cabinet countertop height about 3 feet is what we're shooting for, minus the 1/2 inch plywood that will go on top of that for the countertop. I forgot what my measurement was. $53 3/4. Makes easy work of it. Perfect. Get that on the first cut. On the first cut, it's perfect. Another one at 53 3/4. Turn this around so the waist is on the smaller side. A little bit easier. What's good about this is you can line it up before you cut it. And they're the same size. Now for a little layout. No, not a little layout. We're gonna do. We're gonna do our in between now our studs. So we're gonna measure for those and cut those and how many I'm gonna need. So countertop height is 3 feet, I believe. 36, no. I gotta check this. Hold on. So, according to the interwebs, lots of work going on around here. According to the interwebs, countertop finished height is 36 inches. And I want to minus the half for the countertop itself. Minus 3. So I'm going to minus 3.5 inches, right? You're probably screaming at the camera, tell me what the image is right now. If my friend John's watching, I'm sure he is. So 36 minus 3 is 33, so 32.5 is what I want. Remember that for me, 32.5. 32.5. All right, and my length was, well, let's just do it this way. So I know I need one here, I need one here. I'm going to go 16, so that's 1, 16, 32, and we'll get 38. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need 5 at 32.5. So I need 5 studs at 32.5. All right. Then we'll do some serious layout. There'll be math involved. All right, what do we got here? These probably aren't going to fit. Oh, that's perfect. I got 2 of them right here. 32. Yeah, look at that. It's good to use up the scraps. I mean, we would eventually use these, but. Whoa, that's a straight line. Look at how straight that line is I drew. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. That's a little better. All right, now just cut them all the same size. So there's, as I understand, there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can leave the line or take the line or split the line. So there's a couple of different ways when you're cutting it. So what I mean by that is I drew a line. Right, there's my line, 32.5. I can cut on the short side, the long side, or I can split the line. And then I can make up a little bit of a difference with that. So I'm gonna sort of split the line. I think it's safer that way. In a perfect world, I could set up stops and just, I had a longer bench, I can set up a stop and boom, put it down and cut it, but not a perfect world. this 4. Now, I can think of this. Let's talk about layout for a minute. Typically we go 16 on center and start with 1 on the end. If I had another cameraman, we could do an overhead shot, but we'd start with 1 on each end and then we'd fill in the middle. 16 on center, and that's for the wall board and whatnot. So, you know, depending on, you always want it to fall seam halfway. But the treatment we're going to have on this wall is going to be pine, and it's going to run the length of the wall. So it really doesn't matter where they actually end up in the long run. So I want to kind of balance it as best I can. So when I laid it out for 5. So I have 1 on each end, and I have a 16, 32, and then I have this last one, which really is, you know, within 4 inches of the other one. So I think what I might do is I'm going to split the difference. So I'll take a block. You know, this may be, I may be making this a lot harder than it should be, but it's how I'm doing it in my head, and it works for me. It may not work for you in the end, but this is how it works for me. So I put a block on the end to imitate a stud and draw a line. All right. Do the same on the other end. This will also help me when I'm laying things out, when I'm nailing it all together and the other end. All right. I'm going to get the distance between those 2 lines. Which is always easy when you're doing it by yourself, so we're going to do this. So I've got 52 and an 1/8 minus a half. That didn't help me at all, did it? I'm bad at math again, figured out. The best thing about this ruler that I have is it has all the little, you can see on the bottom here, it's not really clear, but it has all the hash marks. Because I always used to say, like, you know, 3 and 2 ticks or 3 and 3 ticks, but it gives me the numbers. So I sound more intelligent when I'm doing the layout. I'm really not, but it sounds good. So let's try that again. That's going to give me a number of, I need like 1 more set of hands. We're going to call it 50 and a half. So we're going to call it 50 and a half, right? Bear with me while I do math. I'm doing this live here, okay? So I've got 50 and a half. Now divided in half would be 25 and a quarter. I'm good, because I just cut 50 and a half, right? Now, 25 and a quarter, you're screaming at me already, I can tell. But I gotta get the calculator, sorry. I know you're screaming at me, telling me what the measurement is. John, keep your shirt on. My trusty calculator here. Nope, that's not it. If I can just find it, we'll be all set. You've already done this in your head, I know you have. And it makes for good TV. Alright, so 25.25 divided by 2 is 12.6. We're going to call it 12 just to be on the... Alright, so we're going to call it 12. So I'm going to go a foot in from this line. So I'm going to go to here. I'm going to put in from this side, it's going to be here. And then change of my mind. I think what I want to do is I we want to go to 25 1/4. It's going to be more line strong when it's all done. That's the center. All right. So, I think I've got, let's see, I'll show you. All right. Got my stud lines. This is where the studs will go. All right. And that'll give me 5, which I think is more than enough. More than enough for what I'm going to need. So I need to cut one more. Then we're going to transfer that layout to the top. So I'm using 2x4s select, maybe a bit overkill. It's a good grade, it's nice and straight, even though it's from the big box store, which doesn't always have the straightest lumber in the world. 32 and a half. 32 and a half. All right, theory should be the last cut. So in theory, last cut. Now, layout. This one. So what you didn't see off camera was I did the layout, I laid it on the floor, I attached the studs from the bottom plate through with nails, actual nails right here. And these are, I think these are 8, these 8s, 10 Ds. 10 Ds is what I used. I just have a couple more. I leveled it as best I could with the rest of the house, and I had to put a shim in here because there's a gap between this wall and the bathroom wall. Now this is going to get countertop, and the face frame will get pine, and this is just going to disappear. We'll have the same, this wall here will get this, you can't see it. This is why I need a cameraman. Hold on here. All right, this pine here will continue across and fill in this wall, and we'll do the same treatment down here, which will match what's on the other side. All right, so I have 4 more nails to bang in, and then this project will be done for now. So I transferred my layout lines to the front, and everything's level. I leveled it on both ends, so the studs should all be, in theory, should be level. Or as level as anything in this house is going to be. 'Cause, 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 we don't want to make things too level. I got one more. I got a nail. Too far in. That should do it. Hit of the nail every time. All right, just give a bit of a tour. That's the wall that we just put in. It is at the right height to accept the countertop that will run all the way around. Backs up against the bathroom wall, and as I was saying, I'm not sure you could see, but this pine that's here is going to continue across this wall. There'll be countertop here, little one, little shelf, and then maybe even just pine. I don't know, we'll see. And then the bottom treatment will get the same as it is over here. It's vertical and horizontal. However, we will not put that piece of molding in because in this corner is where the washer and dryer is going to end up. All right, so that's the project, today's project. Anyways, all finished. It's looking good, and it's somewhat level. Oh, look at that big nail sticking. I got to drive that last nail in. All right, but other than that, we're good to go.